Rapino is his name. He's the CEO, and his statement was, make sure I have it pulled up. I want to make sure I read the right amount because he had a percentage of the fans that would be in there as well. He says he says he plans to organize venues to open up to 75 to 100% capacity for outdoor events in 2021. He says we're better off waiting for a high bar capacity moment, he continued. In most of the states to ramp up and talk to artists about getting paid properly. So they're planning on doing 75 to 100% capacity outside venues. I'm going to guess that there's no specific timeline, but maybe last quarter of the year. We just had Texas opened up, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't know if they're...
We'll be opening up.
Texas plans to open up.
Plans to open up, I'm sorry.
But the governor announced it, saying that, yeah, we're going to be back to 100% capacity and no mask guidelines. I think he said that.
Yeah. And the article says also the United Kingdom announced that live concerts and festivals could return without social distancing requirements as early as June 21st. That's in the UK. See, Live Nation up, let's see, 100,000 tickets for the Reading Leeds Festival scheduled for August 27th. So it looks like Live Nations might start popping in the last quarter of the year. UK is looking like June. So I know we were just talking about Anderson .Paak and Bruno. Go ahead, Lone, jump in there. What do you guys feel about that, man? The possibility of 75 to 100% capacity shows fourth quarter this year.
I think we'll probably see it. I mean, we're going to see a lot more. I think states with the Florida type states emerge just because they're going to get business, back going again. And so, like, I'm not even surprised at it. Other places in the world have already been back to normal. New Zealand.
But they had competent government that actually took this seriously.
That's the difference. And so we haven't. And so we're playing catch up here. And just because the numbers are going down, that's a good thing, right? And so we should probably want to continue that. So how about we not do anything like stupid by opening up too soon?
Drastic.
Yeah, stupid and drastic and all that stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if it might be state by state, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that open up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see people go. Some people have no. Some people simply just. You have the people that, one, don't think the virus is that big of a deal. And two, some people are just at the point where they are tired of it. So, hopefully, it gets
take it.
Hopefully, it gets curbed. Hopefully, we're in a major downward trend before anything really pops off like this. But I'm not surprised by this at all. That's what I have to say. Mike, I can't hear you. Anybody else wants to jump in?
Mike. Yeah, I think that it's all about. And this, and I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted in a way because once again, I do work in the service and entertainment industry, and I'm from that aspect of selfish aspect. Yes, I'm very happy that we're here in Indiana. I'm glad that we're going back to 50%. Now we can serve over the bar, 75% for. Restaurants, they still do have to have a certain level of social distancing, and there is still a mask mandate here, but at the same time, there's part of me that says, okay, I know we're not doing this because of a real interest in public health, but we're doing this for an interest in we need to get the public to start spending some money so we can generate some tax revenue, not only for the city, but so we can stop all these small businesses from closing. So I think that's what a lot of people are looking at. I'm honest. I look at the national dashboard every day, and I've been encouraged by seeing the numbers go down, specifically here in Indiana. But at the same time, when you look at the overall, it still is listed. 50 out of 50 states are still listed as uncontrolled spread. So I am still a bit worried. You know, like I know some people think that doctors and scientists are just trying to ruin our fun. I'm not one of those people. I take the things they have to say seriously, even though I have to take the fact that I need to make money seriously as well, and the fact that like we can't stay shut down forever. You know, I'm just saying, like, especially to, I know we have a few listeners in Dallas and Houston and Austin, all the whole Texas squadron. You know, just because your governor says that you have 100% occupancy and there's no mask mandate, that doesn't mean that you know, that if you personally want to stay a little bit safer and increase your ability to be safe, you don't have to take off the mask. Go ahead and wear the mask places, and you don't have to go out to, you know, the Papa Do's or wherever, or Turkey Leg Hut. You know, you can still stay home. You're not required to go out just because everything is open. And I encourage people who live here. Like, I understand there's a lot of my friends who I don't expect to see coming out on Fridays and Saturdays and Thursday nights or whatever night I'm working, you know, and I completely understand that. So, you know, I feel like if you, once again, everybody says it's about personal choice. If you still want to make the personal choice to stay home, go ahead and stay home. But as far as going to concerts, for me, you know, what I'm looking at, every time we ease up a little bit and think everything's going to be all good, there's another spike that happens and we got to shut right back down. So I still think that summer is kind of being optimistic, especially if you're talking about festivals, not talking about seated, but like festivals where people are just known to be all up on each other. I still think we're being a little bit optimistic, considering like there are places that, like the mayor of Atlanta.
But see, my thing, Jay,
guys hear me?
I can now. I don't think it's like an optimistic thing. I just think that people don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's at that point, you know.
Look, the mayor of Atlanta said,
science.
Look, they said, please don't come down here and kick it for All-Star Game. But you know what? I have seen about 20 flyers for everybody down at All-Star. Look, Tory Lanez has a party at All-Star Game. Like, that's how thirsty they are for people to just be out in the streets.
Man, please believe there's gonna be multiple parties at this All-Star Game. People are gonna be kicking it like it's normal, especially with it being in Georgia. So I'm not gonna be surprised by anything I see us down there. I know it's gonna be cracking down there. Like, that won't shock me at all. Like, I'm just curious to see how many of them happen at this point, because I know it's going to be popping down there. And I'm curious to see how many of these players, how do you quarantine and keep players away from all these parties at All-Star Weekend? Like, that's what I'm curious about, to see how that's going to work.
The interesting thing about that, and Terry, I can hear you just fine, just for the record, but I was watching the JJ Redick podcast the other day, and he was talking about how so many NBA players they didn't even want an All-Star break this year because of the shortened season and all that. So I don't know if and them just being so tired. So maybe we won't see that particularly, but
I don't think we'll see them at the parties, but everybody else.
Everybody else. It's just, we're in a weird place right now where it's like conspiracy central, and everybody is like not believing professionals. Like,
there's a lot of that.
CDC and not believing doctors and stuff like that is goofy, man. Don't be that.
You believe the My Pillow guy.
There's so many people that have their own opinion on what's going on over the whole spectrum of everything 2020 when it comes down to COVID to even Trump. There's still crazy people that think Trump is still president, or there's going to be this magical day where he comes back and is still sworn in as president. Like, this is still going on. People actually believe this shit. So if people are that stupid, believe that, and not understand how politics work, science works, what makes you think that they're going to believe that need to wear a mask or it's mandatory, or that that COVID is actually real? So with that being said, the festivals opening up and people actually going and having a good time, I do see probably more people going than you think gonna show up at these events. And be ready to party and just get life back to normal. And like I was just talking to Metronome earlier today, I'm ready to get back to normal myself. Like, it's for the birds, but at the same time, a family and friends that you got to protect. When it's time to come back together, then we can come back together and do it. You know what I'm saying? But until that happens, hey, I'm cool. And I know I was skeptical at first about that shot. The more and more time that goes by, the more and more time that I'm considering for it as soon as it's available. Because, like I said, I'm ready to get back to life and enjoying life and being able to do the things that I like doing without having to worry about getting sick or taking something home to my family.
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for us all to be in the same room again. But
man, talk to him on that, boy.
Man,
he said something right there, boy.
We've gone through different forms of technology just at the time. First we was on Zoom, and now we've integrated Twitch and whatnot. Like, just think about all the stuff that we've had to figure out and it'll be a year, in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah, like I was thinking about that. Like, we started when everything originally started happening, I believe it was around March is when it started to get to the point where it was it was spooky out there a little bit. Things was real quiet.
We shut down right after the NBA.
It was real spooky out there. And I remember us going through the Zoom phase and trying to figure it out, and mics and all that. And to fast forward now, it's crazy, but it's become the norm. It's like, I'm just so used to logging in and seeing y'all in squares, but to Jay Moore's point, it would be so dope just to sit down at the table and break bread like we used to at some point.
I don't know about you guys, but me being the like recluse person I am in general, the introverted, whatever. Yeah, I've realized just how much I don't like communicating with people via technology anymore. Like, I just don't like to. Yeah. Like, I don't like replying to texts. I don't like messages. Like, it legitimately bothers me. And it's fine. Like, in person is fine, but it's just, and I feel myself as somebody who's always in general kind of cool being by himself, that like communicating via technology has just been, I don't know, it like pisses me off for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, because now you have to do it. It was a point where that was an option. Be like, there was a time, because there's a time I'll be like, I'll just wait till I see him and we'll talk about it. Now we don't have that option.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows when that will be. Like, one thing that we all can relate to, I'm kind of getting off script, but one thing that we can all relate to, or a place that we can use as a point of reference, has always been coaches. And that's just something that's been, I don't want to say taken for granted, but it's just been so normal. The routine has been so normal. You don't even think twice about it. It's like, I can go to coaches if I want to, or if not, it's cool. I'll catch it next week. Or I might see Lone in there one weekend, or I might not, or I catch Terry, or, we all go over after we record the show. Like, I don't want to say I took it for granted, but it's crazy now. A long time, man, where you can just come in there and see a whole bunch of people and dap them up with no issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you sit back and think about, how valuable those times are. At least it has for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, for sure.
And like they used to.
No, I don't see that yet.
Some people that's gonna want to still do that, and they might even get offended if you kind of pull back. But it's like, do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see though, man. I'm curious about this 75 to 100%. I think the chat is so. Nate had a good point. He said a lady from the CDC was on TV yesterday begging people to stay the course on social distancing and masks. Yeah. So, you got stuff like that going on.
And if you read the comments, there are people saying like, why would I trust, or why would I follow CDC guidelines? It's not like they're doctors. It's like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, let's just follow these memes on my timeline for Facebook. I'll follow those. Let's do those instead. They know. Those guys know. All my friends know.
You see, the problem with these folks are they hear CDC and they've been the ones that have been watching like Walking Dead. The Walking Dead shit started from inside the CDC. So they're trying to compare. They'll take that as fact before they actually take what the real CDC is doing as far as science is concerned and, research. Yeah. Crazy. Well, it's the world we live in.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. And we invite you to join our hip hop community on Discord. access it by going to newoldheads.com/community for talks on hip hop, sports, music, news, and everything else.